I guess on my hair, she look all right. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and as you all can see, I am in full beat, honey. It has been quite a while since I've done my makeup. I broke my leg in May, and since then I've only done maybe like a little eyeshadow here, a little lip gloss there. But today I promised you all I would do the tribe tutorial, and because of the positive feedback that I've received from you all, even though I wasn't physically feeling good, it motivated me to go ahead and get this tutorial out for you all, because like I stated, we are playing with the Juvia's Place Tribe palette. Juvia's Place unfortunately has announced that they will be discontinuing my favorite eyeshadow palette from the brand. My absolute favorite palette from the brand. I promise you, the only reason this 9-pan palette isn't considered perfect in my eyes is because it does not have a matte black, which is my favorites behind the greens. But other than that, honey, she there, because I got matte blacks, especially from Juvia's Place. But today, I wanted to show you all a look. I wanted to give you all swatches of this palette before it is gone forever. So if you all wanted this eyeshadow palette, I recommend that you all sign up for that emailing list on Juvia's Place and get it before it is gone. Because, honey, this is something you do not want to be without. As you can see, we got a nice, beautiful, seamless blend going on. So if you all would like to see swatches of this palette or see the tutorial on how I achieve this look, just make sure you go ahead and continue to watch. Before we get started, I wanted to give you all a close-up of the palette itself, as well as close-up view of the shades inside. Juvia's Place always kills it with the artwork. And this is what the 9 shades look like on the inside. They are absolutely stunning. It does have a reflective back to it, so it may be hard to see each shade. So I'm trying to catch it from different angles so that you can catch each individual shade. But I'm also going to show you swatches. This is what all 9 shades look like. I've swatched them 1 time each over no primer. This is over just a dry arm. And the shades left to right are Masai, Aromo, Tootsie, Coro, Chaga, Cuba, Ashanti, Curla, and Sand. Oh, honey, I know y'all got to give me a second, honey. I promise you, breaking my leg already made it much more difficult to get around the house, but gaining this extra 35 pounds that I didn't have last year make it that much harder to tote my fat ass around. So you got to give me a second to catch my breath. I honestly was feeling so down and out because I did therapy yesterday. I'm so sore, I'm so tired. I wasn't going to do this video, but you all have been motivating me to stay positive, keep moving, so I had to do it. I noticed a lot of you all were speaking about the figurines that are missing from right here, up here. Those did fall down. Basically, whenever I was cleaning, they would fall over. Anytime I come back and forth, because I have this blower right here, I make a lot of noise and a lot of movement now, so it be shaking that shelf and they was falling. I got tired of it, so I just knocked them down and put them all into a bag. Once I'm feeling much better, I will put them back up. But enough of the negative talk, honey. Let's get back into this tutorial because I need to do something to lift my spirits, sis. Today we are still talking about the Juvia's Place Tribe palette. Unfortunately, they have talked about permanently discontinuing this palette. The thing is, if you go to the website right now, like right now, I thought that was a scratch. That was just something white on top of it. They have a sign-up list, so something tells me they're going to do like one last restock before they get rid of it. So I personally recommend that you go to the website, sign up for the mailing list if you do not have it. But before it is gone, I want to go ahead and do me a tutorial with it. And because my eyes are already prepped, you know I'm going to leave all tools and products used today in the description bar below. We can go ahead and get started on this. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't think we're going to use all 9 shades today. But what I can say is we're going to start off with this shade here, Masai. We're going to use that as a transition in the inner half of our eye. And because we're going to do the most today, we're going to then go in with Aroma right here and use that for the transition on the outer half of our eye. So let's get into it. Also today, just to be a little extra and over the top, I'm going to finally test out my Rephr brushes. I bought, I think, 3 different sets of brushes from them. So we're going to go ahead and see how these work out. So let's bring them a little closer because I don't know the names of these brushes. So we're going to be going basically off intuition. I don't know exactly how these brushes will work, but I do know how this primer and this eyeshadow palette works. So let's get into it. All right, and so I've loaded up my brush. And I'm going to go in, buff this into that top half. I mean the front half, not the top half. And she builds up real fast. Look at that. This brush don't play with the blend-in, sis. Okay. She came through for the opaque goodness. And just because I know this look is going to be a little dramatic today, we're going to go in with one more layer just to make sure she stand out like that orange shade will. And you could just buff and diffuse that out as high as you want. You know I don't mind going all the way up to the eyebrows, honey. Because I do plan on cutting my crease. We're going to go very high. Look at that. Okay, she's fabulous. We can go ahead and jump to that next color now. Alright, just went ahead, cleaned my brush off on a microfiber cloth, and we're going to go into the shade Aroma. Once again, we're going to load our brush up, and we're just going to build this up on the outer half for our transition shade. I like to do the top part first before I go back in and do my outer V. And y'all know it got to be a special event for me to go straight in with an orange shade. Y'all know I am not the biggest fan of oranges, but because I love this palette, and I love y'all, we're going to go ahead and try to use as many of these colors as possible. I'm going to go in for a second layer. And there she go. There's that vibrancy I want. And remember, you diffuse those edges. So far, I am really loving this brush. It's not too rounded, not too pointed. It's like the perfect blend between the two. Now I just want to pick up as much as possible on one side of the brush and just pack that right there on the outer V. When we cut our crease, it'll cover the edges of that, so I'm not really worried about blending it too much. I'm just pressing it right here on the outer V after we get our blend. Looking nice to me so far. Let's keep things going. Next shade up, I'm not sure. Let's figure it out. Honey, I am loving the blend on this already. To me, anytime I say I want a transition color, I need a color that's going to deepen up and make my next color more vibrant. And that's exactly what this does for me. Since we already have our transition down, for our inner half, I think what we're going to do is go into this shade here, Tootsie, and then for our outer half, we're going to go into this shade here, Ashanti. And I completely forgot to let you know about the brushes I was using. That first time, I was using the number 27 brush to do my transition shade. Because I need something slightly more tapered, I'm going to go into the number 15, and as you can see, this is a little bit smaller. And baby, look at the blend on that. It doesn't even start off with a harsh line. It just goes straight into buffing and diffusing. Look at that. You really don't see where I added that next green. It just all looks like that first green faded straight out of there. Oh, I got to try that one more time. Just one more time. Baby, you got to see that in person. Look, building up, getting deeper in color. No harsh lines anywhere. This number 15 might be a new favorite, honey. As someone with hooded eyes, I could never get enough of a good crease brush. Oh yeah, we got to hurry up and do our outer half because I got to see how this gonna look when we through. Once again, we've cleaned off our brush with the microfiber cloth. We're gonna go into shade Ashanti and deepen up the outer corner. And look at that, honey. I promise you, you don't even see where the line first starts where you put the color down. You just see it automatically going in diffused. Gonna go in, layer that one more time. Just want to make sure the lowest part of the crease is the darkest. And once again, loading our brush up on one side, we're gonna just try to pack this toward the outer half and let that slowly diffuse up. Yes, ma'am, I promise you, the blend on this shadow is unlike anything I've ever had before. I've worn this palette many times, but I've never seen these shadows go from pan to blended this quickly. It's just stunning. And just because I want to be fair with all of my matte shades, we're going to go into this darkest green shade here, Sand, and we're going to use that to deepen up the lowest part of our crease from the inner part all the way to our outer part of our crease, just to make sure every part has been deepened up. And just to test it out, we're going to use our Rephr 14 brush for the first time. And we've loaded our brush up on the tip, knocked off all excess, and we're going to start from the front where it's lightest and just go as low as we can into the crease to deepen up everything. And look at that bad boy. When I tell you, when it's going to be time to cut this crease, it's going to look amazing. And we're just going to raise it up slightly once we get that sharp line there to diffuse it. Fast and easy. I don't even think we're going to have to double dip that. But you know what, just because I want to see how that pigment going to look, we're going to do it. Just go down low now that we've diffused our edges and really make sure it's dark. Baby, look at that. Yes, oh my goodness, I cannot wait till we go ahead and cut our crease. I'll be right back. All right, now you want to take your favorite lid primer. I personally like a glitter adhesive. I have hooded eyes, and I figure if it's strong enough to hold on to glitter, it'll definitely be strong enough to hold on to eyeshadow. And your favorite cut crease brush. Mine is the Morphe M421 brush. I'm gonna just take some of this product on the back of my hand and cut my crease extremely high, honey. I really enjoy a high cut crease. Oh, excuse me, honey. I thought I had a burp coming up, but I was able to silently get them out. But as someone who has hooded eyes, bringing my crease up higher than what it naturally occurs always, to me, makes my eyeshadow appear a little more vibrant. It gives me more space to play with. And so, it's a technique I never give up. All right, now that we have cut our crease, we're gonna go back in with our medium fluffy brush, number 15, and that shade Ashanti. I want to first go back in with that and build that up all over our outer V. Make sure we bring that back in. Cover that on both sides. Not really worried about the blending or anything yet. I'm just worried about making sure that that is down where it belongs. Alrighty, now that we have that, time to get into some shimmery shades. All right, and just because I got huge eyes, I know I want to try to use all 9 shades. So what we're gonna try to do is figure this out by gonna go with Kuba on the inner half, and then I'm gonna go over the top and put Chaga here on the outer half. And I'm not sure how this brush is gonna go. This sort of looks a lot like, I believe, what is this version of the MAC brush called? Let me see if I can find it or pull her out. It looks a lot like the MAC 239 brush. And usually whenever I use the MAC 239, I prefer it with matte shadows, but we're gonna go ahead and see how she go with this shimmer today. Since we said we got Kuba coming up first, let's go ahead and get her popping. And it doesn't look like she had no issues picking stuff up. Let's go ahead and see. Place her down. Okay, Kuba coming through for the girls. I personally feel as if I will get a stronger opacity with a finger or a silicone applicator, but she ain't giving us no issues. The shade is coming off really creamy on this brush. It's just that, once again, I generally prefer to use these type of brushes with matte shadows. So after we put this on here, I will go back in and see what it looks like with the silicone applicator. But you can see that color is there. I don't have any fallout or anything underneath my eyes, which is even more amazing. Okay, she works, she gets the job done. Alright you guys, I just wanted to show you that I managed to get this color to be a little more vibrant. Instead of worrying about blending it all over the eye, I just took the same brush, I didn't wet it or anything, and I went back in and I just swiped the color down on a second layer, and I got this level of pigmentation. So you know what? Screw the silicone applicator, she's no longer needed. Let's go ahead and do the shimmery shade on the outer half. Alright, and this shade here, I think this is Chaga, picked up a lot easier. And it appeared I'm getting a little more opacity in the beginning with this shade as well. And because I know what I know from the last shade in this brush, I know to go ahead and just put it down first just to get my blend going the way I want it. Then come back and swipe it in place like that. You see the opacity we got that second time? And because I don't want a harsh line right here, gotta diffuse those edges. And then we gotta have a blend going on. Baby, look at her. Be right back after I do the other side. Alrighty, honey, look at what we got going on now. I'm almost happy with what we got on the top, but I want to deepen up my outer V a little bit more. And just to try out this next brush, I'm gonna go into this brush here, brush number 13. It looks almost just like brush number 14, except 13 is much more flat, while number 14 comes to much more of a taper. And we're going to use this with the shade Sand, and I really only want to deepen up my outer V just the tiniest bit. Actually, let me load that up a little bit more and just dust her off. And what I want to do is just really come into the outermost tips and diffuse that back. Just enough so that very outermost corner is what is the deepest part of our outer V. And that's it. So what I want to do now is go ahead, I'm gonna go off camera, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'll show you how we're gonna finish off the eyes. Baby, we back. I done finished the face, but I'm telling y'all, it is hot. I am fat and it is hot, honey. Moving around ain't as easy as it used to be. And I know the hair is on. I double checked it. But getting back in here shimmying with that cart, with this walker, baby, we're gonna try to hurry up and get through this so we can go ahead and finish this video up. Off camera, I'm going to make sure I leave everything in the description bar, but I am trying out a new foundation. I'm testing out the Lancome Tints e.l.f. Ultra Wear Foundation here. I used to wear this years ago and stopped. I'm going to do an update video on this. I just wanted to make sure that the feelings I had back then are still true, and they absolutely are. I'm testing out for the first time the Juvia's Place Blush Rouge collection in the shade Volume 2. This comes with 2 blushes here. I'm wearing this bottom one here. I love a loud pink blush. This is a little light, but because of the way I piled it on, it looks the way it does. On the lower lash line, I went in with my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Overdrive. I only have it on the lower lash line. What else? For mascara, we're using the Essence Lash Princess in the green tube. I did purchase a new one, but I'm not sure exactly which color it was, so I didn't want to use that today. And for the lips, I wanted to try to stick with Juvia's Place. I am wearing the Cola Lip Liner, but on top of that, I wanted to go in with a lip gloss called Barely There. The thing is, she was way, way, way too pale and way too light. So I did go in and top things off with the Pat McGrath Bronze Temptation. I absolutely love this gloss. I just wanted something that would help bring down the ashiness that I had on my lips. This is just enough, so I literally just pulled the wand out, doop, 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 right on top of it, kept it moving. But we are almost through. I have everything going. All we have to do is finish off our lower lash line. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, you already know, just because we got this green going on, I want to keep that going nice and loud. So we're going to start off with a large pencil brush, and we're going to go into this shade here, Tootsie. And then we're going to go in with a smaller pencil brush and use this shade here, Sand, on the lower lash line. And with my Rephr brushes, it did come with 2 pencil brushes. The larger one is number 26. The smaller one is number 3. So we're going to use number 26 here with shade Tootsie, and the smaller one here with Sand. And I'm going to start on the outer half here, and we're going to smoke that all the way to the front of the eye. And I am loving how this is blowing the color out, honey. Most people make a very small pencil brush, so it makes it hard for somebody with big eyes like me to go ahead and get that real big blown out smoke that I like. Okay, sis, nice and soft. Thing I am absolutely loving is that this is not scratchy at all on the eyes. Like, no matter how hard I press, I do not feel this scratch in my eyelid. Baby, Tootsie just went on like a dream with that big brush. So I'm going to take my smaller brush in this shade here, Sand, and I'm going to put this on the outer half. Not going to bring it all the way to the inner half here. And the way that just smoked that out and deepened that up is absolutely beautiful. Like, these brushes do not play. They come fast and strong. Like, look at that. I know you see this. Honey, she fabulous. Now to finish off the lower lash line, we're going to go into this shade here, Curler. And even though Curler is a shimmer shade, I'm going to go into this push liner brush. This is number 29. And we're going to take this on the push liner brush, and we're going to do this on the inner lower half there. Just because we have an orange transition on the outer half on the top, and it helps switch your point of view on the eye to see it on the inner half on the lower end. Okay, and I want to take and just add a little bit more because I want that shimmer to be high and we're going to bring it all the way up to the lower lash line, to the inner corner. Bam, I'm not sure if that's going to show up on camera there, but in person you can really see that orange flare right there. Now to finish off the eyes, we're going to use the very last shade, Coral. We're going to use this here to highlight our inner corner and our brow bone. And for the shade Coral, we're going to use this small shader brush. This is the number 28 brush. And because we have a lot of product on the brush, we're going to do the inner corners first because we wouldn't want too much to be on the brow bone. And baby, this is why it's my favorite part of doing the eyes. This shade Coral here is beautiful enough to go across the entire eyelid, I promise you. I'm going to go in one more dip and just, bam. It looks sort of like a duochrome shade, and it just brings such a glow to the eyes. And because I just accidentally put too much down, I need something that can soften that up. What I'm going to go ahead and do is take this brush that I did not use. This one is the number 12 brush. It's a nice rounded buffing brush. It looks like a domed buffing brush, and I'm going to use that to soften up the edges of that highlight shade because I want it to be the strongest right at the arch of the brow, but I don't need that color to look just as strong everywhere else. So this brush can help soften and diffuse that for me. Yeah. I think we're looking cute, honey. Let's go ahead and finish her off. All right, honey, I'm looking around making sure we ain't forgot a step or anything. It appears that we finished, so go ahead and grab your setting spray so we can lock everything in place. All right, first up, Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All nighter so things last all day. Cheap Fan, Expensive Breeze, Good Times. I'm going to give this a few more moments to dry, and then I'll be back to show you all the final look. And this is the final look. I want to go ahead and give you all a full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you, honey, I might have been in a bad mood this morning. I might have been sore and irritable yesterday. But now that we in full glam for the first time since I broke my leg, honey, you can't tell me nothing. This whole experience with being injured has just been something that has truly played with my mental health, my physical abilities to assist myself with everyday, tasks. And I promise you, the two best parts about it has been, one, the support from my family, and two, the support from you all. Just knowing something that's important to me, like just my everyday hygiene and beauty routine, is just something I truly do for myself. But to know that it encourages others, it's a form of entertainment for many people, and to know that I was missed from you all is what really motivated me to get back home and start things back up again. Because I promise you, on most days, the only thing you want to do is sleep. But to know that I'm sitting here looking at this like, Torrence, look at this bead. These are products that's just been sitting on the shelf. You haven't tested them out. They look fabulous. The eyeshadow is something you used to love and wear almost on a daily basis. So to know that you missed it, to know that I bought these brushes and they're some of the best brushes I've ever used in my life, I'm like, to know that I love wearing makeup, I love interacting with you all, this just puts me back in a positive and peaceful place. And I just want to say thank you all. If you all did not pick up the Try palette, I promise you, you want to get on the sign up list for this. This palette here, she's stunning, honey. Look at her. Look at her. She's gorgeous. I just don't see what you wouldn't want with her. But, honey, I'm just so happy that I'm feeling so much better. I'm happy that now that I'm doing my tutorials, I finally got to a point where I'm showing you all swatches. So not only do you see what they look like in the pan, you get to see what they look like against my complexion and on the eye, because I did use all 9 shades today. It may not really look like it because of the way things blended through, but when it comes to good shadows and good brushes, blending is what you want. And I promise you, this is not the last time you are going to, one, see these Rephr brushes, or two, see some future ones, because I wanted to go through and make sure that I love the eye brushes before I tried the face brushes. And I'm sold, honey. I am sold. The only thing that I might have to think twice about is this Barely There gloss, but you can look at her. This shade, just compared to my complexion right here, you know I brighten underneath the eye, so it's like, how did you not expect concealer lips? But she's still a nice gloss. She just needed to be, you know, be layered with other products, so I've done that. I'm looking down like, I don't think I've missed out on anything. I don't think I forgot anything. So I hope you all truly did enjoy this tutorial. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also, make sure you all look out, because on Wednesday, I'm going to be putting out that video for the Armies tutorial. At least with that one, I'll have 2 days to do it. With this one, I was not thinking. I said on Saturday, you all going to have this video on Monday, not realizing I got to record and edit on Sunday in order to have it ready for you all. But you all are truly worth it, and I love you, and I hope you all have been enjoying things. Please stay tuned, because I'm not going to be slowing down. We're going to try to keep things going. But with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.